Fear grips Greater Accra regional town of Sota over the murder of 3 persons, including the chief in the area.
At Accra and said that, oh, Sota people are wicked, Sota people, they are doing this. We are not like that. We don't do anything. We don't even have any weapon. They will just come with convoy to arrest everybody. When you have gun, even bullet, they will arrest you.
We'll take you live to the area and hear from residents and wife of one of the victims. We'll also bring you an in-depth analysis on what security concerns this situation poses ahead of the crucial elections in November. This is today's big story with me, Kwame Janka. A tragic and shocking murder in Greater Accra regional suburb of Sota has left residents in an intense state of fear. As you may know, a traditional leader, Nene Petutu, and 2 others were shot by unknown gunmen yesterday in a Toyota Corolla vehicle on the Afenya Dodowa Road. We'll hear shortly from our man, Kwame Janka. But first, here are some residents who have been speaking to Joy News about the incident.
At Accra and said that, oh, Sota people are wicked, Sota people, they are doing this. We are not like that. We don't do anything. We don't even have any weapon. They will just come with convoy to arrest everybody. When you have gun, even bullet, they will arrest you. So we don't have anything here. We don't even have, so the people know that, oh, even the chief of Sota even was, they search everything. Look at the cattle the chief have. And then there's a thieves who have been harassing him. He have to protect himself with those things. But because of that, even when they come, they will have to take organs. You understand? So we are calling for the government to come to our aid. We are not so people of Sota are very nice to the government. They have mined the son here over 30 years. The government don't get a whole lot from the community. So I don't know whether as I'm talking to you, even the district chief executive is still not coming to our aid.
What of the chief executive?
The chief executive, he didn't come here. If we went and report 2 things to him, he didn't take actions on it. And we have been hearing information in the district assembly that he's one of the people. So he's taking part in the selling of the land and the thing. So if we go and repeat it, so I personally went to him and reported it to him several times. But if you go, what he will tell you that you take lead, I'll see what to do. And he will not do anything about it.
So you mean that you said that the chief executive has not been here, the regional minister, the MP. Why is that all these key stakeholders have neglected you? So as
they didn't neglect it. I said that the MP was here.
Oh, okay,
the regional minister was here.
Oh, okay.
The chief executive, the police commander was here.
Oh, okay.
The crime officer of the district was here. Okay. But the chief executive didn't come
okay.
here.
So they all came here.
They all came.
Oh, okay. Except the chief. Oh, okay.
But do you have any information as to whether he's around or in his post or something?
He's around.
Oh. He went to the scene yesterday?
No.
He did not even go to the scene?
Yeah, he's in the office.
We know him that if he's around, he will not come. That is what he has been doing. So he cannot give us an excuse that he went to meeting or he went to funeral. But that one, he can say anything. But if, yes, he can delegate some people to come in his name.
Okay.
We talk and talk and talk.
So will you call for his removal?
If possible, yes, I can say if possible. I didn't employ him, so if possible, but I cannot say they should remove him. But he should do what he's supposed to do.
So you had some worried residents of Sota there where this incident occurred. The wife of one of the victims, who was also the chief of Sota, says she suspects her husband was killed over a land issue. Listen to her.
Has your husband been threatened?
June, last year, June 26.
Yes, the man was caught on 26th June last year. It was a big operation with police and military officers. He was arrested because of a land dispute. He was later released. I know my husband was killed because of the land.
Now, it's January 28th, Munya judgment. Moving case be about
Are you scared?
I am not afraid. By the grace of God, nothing can scare me.
So you heard that was the wife of one of the victims in this shooting incident in Sota, Greater Accra Regional Suburb. In fact, the wife of the chief, one of the three who perished in this particular incident. My colleague Kwame Janka, who is with our sister station at Dome FM, joins me on the line now. He's been on this beat all day. He visited the area and spoke to all those people. I must say also that we've been joined by security expert Dr. Kwesi Bani. We'll speak to him shortly. But Kwame, first tell me what exactly happened.
Well, like the wife said earlier, her husband with two others were on their way to Ningo. Now, they are from the Awulawe family, and as they are every Sunday, they are supposed to perform some rite at their shrine at Ningo, and that's what they were on their way to do when this sad incident occurred in the morning.
Okay, so this happened in the morning. That's some clarity there. But residents, those we heard from earlier, all linking this to a certain land dispute. In fact, the wife of the chief who perished in this tragic matter made the same point.
Yes, Afraid. In fact, that area, according to the residents, has been between Shai and then Ningo. Now, traditionally, in terms of demarcation, Sota, Odumse, among other areas, fall under the Ningo traditionally. But then when it comes to the political side, it's under Shai Usudoku, and it's been up and down courts, and I mean, really went in favor of Ningo as having been the true owners of the Sota among other areas in terms of the land. So these people suspect the ruling among other litigations might have caused his death, which occurred yesterday. In fact, they had, the chief with the two others had a document covering the ruling in the very vehicle in which they were shot.
And so this happened in broad daylight. I've had some accounts, and clarify this for me as well, Kwesi. I've had some accounts saying that the persons, the suspects were on a motorcycle, shot them in broad daylight.
Yes,
provide some clarity to that.
Yes, exactly. These are unidentified gunmen on a motorbike. The incident took place not too far from a substation belonging to the Electricity Company of Ghana, and I mean, having a broad daylight, not at night. So it had nothing to do with probably waiting till night falls, but then it was done in broad daylight, where residents took the place to catch a glimpse of what might have really happened. Initially, they didn't believe it because when the news got to Sota and surrounding areas, they thought it could be a joke because it's of this nature, you can't joke with this. So when they confirmed it, in fact, it struck everybody down. And when I got to Sota, it had really affected everybody in terms of mood, right from Sota Basic School to Sota itself, and then surrounding areas. Every tree, every plant you met, including electricity poles, had some scarlet, indicating that something had gone wrong in the area, informing you that, well, we've lost a dear one, not just anyone, but an opinion leader. They describe him as an opinion leader because Sota, Dumse, surrounding villages meet at Sota to discuss anything relating to their lands within. So he's not just a chief of Sota, but then he's an opinion leader for, I mean, areas beyond Sota. So his death is a big blow to them.
And Kwame, again, this, I get a sense this does not happen at a venue where you had people there at all?
Well, yes, but then, no, the residents are a bit surprised because at least the gunmen, they are not planning to probably take anything from them. They just shot them, and being, broad daylight, they saw the...
Kwame, the clarity I'm seeking is whether there were people around when this happened.
At the exact spot, no, but then someone who was following, according to the resident, a driver who was behind the chief, saw this happening. So yes, in the full glimpse of the part, but then people were not gathered before the incident happened. Someone was following the chief, and then after that happened, it drew the attention of those around. It's not too far from Australia, so people had to walk all the way from Australia, Sota, those areas to really see whether this was really true.
And this is a village, a typical village, right?
Yes, but then you have access to electricity, among other things.
And we know much about this chief. You've talked about the fact that he was a prominent public figure, opinion leader in that area. The other two, who are they? Have you managed to get some information on them?
Yes. Well, one of them, I'm told, is a son, but not a stepson, but then a relative of the chief. So a relative of the chief, and then so he describes him as a son. Let's say a sister to the chief. Then that's the son of the chief's sister. So the chief takes him as his son with one other family member on their way to Ningo to perform this rite, which is performed every Sunday. And
is this the first time an incident of this nature is happening in the area from your interaction with the people? Yes, this is the first time any chief from their end has been attacked. But then when it comes to such attacks, land guards have been threatening them in the area, and then they have also been, they also tried bringing in the chief executive for the year, because this is chief executive, who is the head of the district in the person of Emmanuel Odoelate. But then, according to the people, his actions towards having issues of this nature resolved leaves much to be desired of, because he doesn't really recognize the people as being part of Ningo, and then people want to belong to Ningo, as Charles Sudoku is also at the other end. So what's the point there? What's the point? What's the issue with the DC? Is it that when they report these issues that have to do with land guards, he takes no action, or what? Yes, that's what I was made to understand, that this is not the first time they are complaining anything of this nature to him, but then he acts. He does virtually nothing about it, and though yes, he's the head of DISEC, they could take extra steps to get to the police, but then the police will redirect them to the DC because they are under him, and then they can only act on his command. And ever since they started reporting issues of land guards since last year and some years back, he's done virtually nothing about it. And do you manage to get a word from any of the authorities, the police there? Or the DC himself who's being accused here? Not yet, but on the side of the police, it's still under investigations, and issues of investigations, they would want to keep this for now so that they can still go after those suspects in this case. All right, very well, we'll leave it here. Kwame Janka is our man with our sister station at Dome FM, bringing us a detailed report on the shooting incident in that area that happened on the Afienya Dodowa Road yesterday, leading to the death of 3 persons, including a chief in that particular vicinity. We can now do some analysis. Let's speak to security analyst Dr. Kwesi Bani. Thanks for joining us on today's big story. We're here again talking about another tragic incident. Surprised with how this particular event unfolded?
Yeah, if I got it right, another thing I have known. To me, I think the environment, the community must also be looked at, because the community set up every environment is indeed, hello?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Every community has one peculiar setup that they know one another within a neighborhood. And the question of the hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Dr. Barney.
All right, good. So as far as the land guards are concerned, one, the issue is, has our government, has any part of the Constitution, as far as I know, there isn't any consistent position for the establishment of land guard. And if there is, which part of the Constitution? And what is the role that is spelled out for them? Is it anything there and they have gone beyond their boundaries? These are the issues that we looked at, and I plead with the stakeholders to look at that, because these are the pockets of conflict that can migrate into bigger conflict that can affect the peace of the society entirely in Ghana, and more especially as we are marching forward from a few months, about 200 and something plus days for the election. Because if there's going to be a conflict, it doesn't start from the day. It's these pockets that really culminate to graduate into that, and that becomes the security implication in this matter. Because all this what has happened. It's not an accidental killing or a murder. It's not unplanned. They plan it. They have really have a thought. It's the calculated, planned, and indeed purposeful, murder or killing in this case. So the now that has been apprehended, if I'm made to aware, definitely the law will take course. But the implication here is that we need to arrest it. And I'll plead with the community to also become watchdogs, because as far as security is concerned, security is not one man's business. It's all involving. So we need to get involved within our community. Anything that we see immediately, we need to report to the appropriate causes for intervention. Other than that, it will continue to escalate. Above all, the land matter, the chiefs and the people within the community, this land matter must also be looked at. The land laws must be looked at. The land that belongs to that of the chiefs, to the people, and the land that is of the state. After this, every land in Ghana is for the state, but some are intentionally given to the chiefs to be able to, get some money out for development. But it's not rather the other way around, and it's a big problem.
Well, Dr. Kwesi Barney, the issue you touch on concerning the land guards, if you go to many developing areas, the Pokwasi area, and other parts of the country where people are now putting up their buildings, it's a trend, and it seems the police are really helpless or unwilling to do anything about it. This is not the first time we're having this sort of conversation. How do we end this?
Yes, that's what I'm saying right now. If you agree with me, the United Nations statistics here is that we are now using, but when you see every policeman is supposed to entitle to 500. But now, we are far away up there, 500 persons or indigenous or citizens per policeman. But now it's about 700, which means our police, no matter how they are trained and disciplined and prepared, we cannot be able to meet the ratio of population in this country. It is therefore the role of these very private security companies, which have been licensed generally under the LI 1617 or 1715 of the Police Act. These also can be engaged. These are legitimately, established by the law and by the LI as an instrument. But the land guard issue has not. So I am my own suggestion.
Dr. Barney, Dr. Barney, just before you go ahead, are you saying that, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the point about private security companies also being employed to deal with the situation?
No, I'm suggesting that the private security company can be used in this, in the absence or in what? In the absence, whereby we see that the land guard, there's no any law backing them. Do we have any law backing them? They don't. But the private security has a law backing them as long as it's generally been established and been licensed by the Ministry of the Interior under the Police Service Act. So I am suggesting, why can't we use them in this set of new project sites instead of the land guard? The land guard are not trained, they are not disciplined, they don't know much. They use and they go beyond the law. So I am pleading and I'm suggesting to the stakeholders, because the bottom line is that it's peacemaking that we're all looking here. It's a peacemaking principle. If extreme conflict or violence over a status quo erupts, the central problem is what? Is to achieve a new or just balance with minimum conflict. And then whether from the perspective of partisan or third party. The peacemaking principle in this was to make peace by balancing powers. Now, the land guard has powers. The people too don't have power. So they overcome them and abuse them, and that also brings
Dr. Barney, it would seem that the major reason people would opt for the land guards as opposed to going for, say, a private security force would be the cost, don't you think?
Well, but you have to remember also that indeed security is expensive. Do you agree with me?
I'm listening, sir.
Security is expensive because the private security has been established by law, so you are still there. You know that there's no aspect they have to go and then handle the security. But that of the land guard is cheap. But at the end of the day, you pay more than you have paid for the land guard or the private security to do the better job for you. The security, in the sense of the land guard, they are not trained. They don't have any background. Most of them, even I would say, most of them, they don't have any background check. Who employs them? Who engages them? And what is their background? These all comes in here. So at the end of the day, they do whatever they do, and then they go scot-free. And that is terrorizing the community and the people within that area. When we talk of terrorism in our own country, we have been also terrorized. So this is also terrorism.
Dr. Barney, a key concern when issues of this nature come up is about the absence of any police posts in communities like Sota, and that makes it easy for criminals to operate. This incident, we've learned, happened in broad daylight.
Yes, and that is what I think that's a good idea. If the government will begin to think of, I think that some time ago the police were trying to establishing community watchdog, community-based or community police, so that the indigenous, the people within there, could be given some sort of seminars, workshops, so that we would send them a sample policing and late with the Ghana police for apprehension and also for intelligence gathering for all these people. So within every community, I will advocate that community police could be a thing of importance here. Community watchdog can be so that all these people will have the police training them. Some of them will be an intelligence gathering, some of them will be reporting, how to report. And I'll put together, I believe that it will keep, it will, of course, we are in a society in the world that we cannot totally uproot criminality, but at least it could be a step in the right direction that will really, bring it down for the safety and for the people to live better than ever. Because, my brother, conflict over the status quo, as I was saying, is the breakdown of what people and groups want and can and will do. It is balance of the different powers that I'm talking about to make peace. Then it is to achieve a balance of powers. And when we talk of this matter, then we are looking at the interlocking of mutual interest, capability. Now look at these people, their capabilities and their will. The means of accelerating and also facilitating this process must therefore be focused directly on the balancing of these elements or conditions of influence them. So that at the end of the day, the bottom line, we all go towards what? Application of the principles of peacemaking. These means are diverse and involve a number of considerations.
You made a point earlier about the impending elections, less than 10 months to the general elections. With all this happening, how concerned should we be? How afraid should the ordinary Ghanaian listening to watching me right now be?
I would suggest that in every community now begin to identify. Every community knows themselves. They know themselves in their neighborhood. Now, if any new person, if any stranger comes in, we must be very critical. We must be observant to probe further who is this person. Share with others and begin to probe further to know who is and know what is here for. Again, we need to know how they appear. Some of them are their dressing can also tell us who they are. Again, communication. We need to be very careful of our communication. I feel so sad of the way Ghanaians we communicate, even on phone. We are talking of terrorism, we are talking of security. But even we are not secure. Every individual Ghanaian cannot be secure. But the way we talk really on the phone, it's a threat. So something will be said and attacked. So I am suggesting, advocating, every Ghanaian must from today henceforth be vigilant. Be careful of the way he communicates. He should not give out much information within the community of himself.
Dr. Barney, should we be afraid? Reason enough to...
We shouldn't be afraid. Well, we'll be circumspect and be alert and awake of our conscience.
Hello?
Yeah, we should not be afraid, but we should be what? We should be awake and alert and what? And be circumspect, and so that we be conscientized. We need conscientization in this place. When you are aware, because Ghanaian society is not much educated in this area of what? Of subjects. So we don't know much. So when it happens, when it's about to happen, when it's on the way coming, we wouldn't even know, be able to identify. And then before we know, we're caught up in the world. So I am saying that, whether we like it or not, in this world of 21st century, it is with us. Terrorism has become part of it. All we got to do is to what? To wake up, learn, research, and seek education on the subject matter and prepare for that.
Finally, before you go, Dr. Kwesi Bani, I know many people watching this based on what has happened in the past will have every reason to doubt whether the police can indeed get to the bottom of this matter. What would be your own recommendation to ensure a swift investigation, getting the culprits arrested?
Yeah, in a simple intelligence observation, you see, coupled with the narrative linking to the killing, it was a well-planned thing. That's one point. Now, the suspect undertook a careful observation, studying of the victim, observing him, with the background of what has happened in terms of land issue. He undertook a real surveillance, the environment of where normally the victim always moves and drives through or operating site, and then they saw that this is a site they can act. They undertook a criminal scanning. I would call it criminal scanning. They considered the pros and the cons, impact, and damn the consequences. Now, we need to work with the person now arrested that they have been, meted the act. He could be used. So I will plead. I really share with the family. I really share with the family. It's very, very sad, but I share with them to endure and then allow the police. Because when it comes to the early stage like this, when you rush, you will be able to scare the victim of the actors to run away. And
I want to say a big thank you, Dr. Kwesi Bani, security expert, bringing his own perspective on this matter. That'll be it for today's big story. My name is Kwame Janka. Have a pleasant evening. Of course, at 7 p.m. we bring you a details on what made rounds in the world of news today. Israel Eli will come your way with that.